All right, guys, we're going to talk about how I lost around 2.5K today across my funded accounts. Yeah, just really sloppy fucking execution, man, as well as kind of unlucky. Kind of want to explain everything that I, took, my thought process, and yeah, just be fully, transparent with you guys and show you the reality of how this works. But yeah, man, essentially what happened was that, basically, we'll cover the trades, but I do want to do like a full in-depth analysis using like the volume profile as well as like the other order flow tools, kind of show you like my thought process. But essentially, what happened was I missed this move, this tap off VWAP, because I didn't think it was going to be this aggressive off VWAP, and that was the low of the basically the whole session apart from the actual Asian low. This was the low of the whole session, right, of this whole swing leg, and basically we're gonna get to this part. We'll cover it, right? But yeah, essentially what happened was the market opened up on today, on Monday, or excuse me, on Tuesday, right? And I was essentially a short bias, and the reason was because if you look at our doji candles over here, we have a very strong double 4 hour doji. So what I was expecting was I was just expecting a deep retrace to somewhere around this level off here, and then just around the midpoint or some area here that makes sense, and then a move lower, right, to keep going lower, because we still haven't really broken above these highs yet, right? The fact was that we failed to break above these highs. We end up changing structure or changing character, and then we end up opening a bit lower. So it kind of made sense to take one trade like that, or in this case I took two trades. But yeah, basically you can see right here off this swing leg, I just essentially had two trades, one above these highs over here, right, and then one at this area of extreme demand over here, right? And the reason was because if we take our fib tool out like this is essentially the levels that just made the most sense from the supply demand perspective. Why? Because we have our area of demand right here, area of supply right here. Also, we're marking out these imbalances, right? So you can see, right, that these are really the only two levels. And I basically want to try to get a limit order in because I was very confident in what was going on. So I took two limit orders, lost here. This one obviously had a good reaction, but it didn't fully play out. Took another loss there, great. Now the issue was that once we invalidated this, I had my stop loss above these highs. We're obviously going to draw towards and kind of take out this high, right? This extreme previous weekly high right here, right? The issue is though, is I have a lot of data on this, and in reality, you're rarely going to see sweeps, guys. Like you will almost never see sweeps and then just a full reversal like that. If you actually go through the data set, this doesn't tend to happen for most of the time. So after we quote unquote sweep this and started having a reversal, I'm thinking, okay, now my bias is long. And mind you, this is still not my main strategy or my main model, right? This is just me trading a little bit discretionary. So I should have kept it at two losses right there. And then I was like, you know what? I'm confident that we're going to go higher now, because I have a lot of data on this and a lot of experience. We should just trend higher after we react off a level of supply or demand. So in this case, you can see we have a level of demand right here, or the most obvious area of supply or demand, right, based off this internal structure. And I basically just took a trade off the, off the midpoint of over here, right? Stop loss below this low, and I was targeting these highs for like a 1 to 3, 1 to 2 to kind of make the two losses back and then make 1R. But you can see that failed, right? The next level was essentially targeting this huge imbalance as well as on the footprint chart right here, right? It was essentially right here, this huge imbalance. So I was like, you know what, it doesn't hurt to take another trade off this imbalance covering this low right here, right, like around somewhere here, because we really shouldn't go towards. I highly doubt we're gonna tap this low. I literally said in my brain, I highly doubt we're gonna tap this low, tap in this area, and then end up reversing, right? I highly doubt that. And that was the next trade. Basically, we took two losses from here, then we took a one loss here, and excuse me, this was the next trade, right? We took it over here, and I had a really shitty entry. I took it over here. Stop loss was like this, not this tight, it was, yeah, it was, no, yeah, it was this tight actually, just like this. And we got stopped out on this one right here while I was sleeping. Then we came up and we consolidated, whatever. And then what happened was you can see on order flow, right, we have VWAP. So I'm thinking in my brain, like, there's no way we tap off VWAP here, and this is the low of essentially the whole session of New York and London, and London, and then we just trend up, fully off here, off after we hit this. And mind you, I was actually in this trade because I took one more trade, kind of like not a revenge, but I was like, I'll take one more discretionary trade. after I took these two losses. So I was down 4R on the day, which is fucked, right? And then I was in this trade right here. After we took out the low, like right here, right? It was essentially the trade that I took was retest off. Was it this one? No, it was a little bit of a shittier entry, like right over here, like right below this low, right? Essentially, you're just trying to like see it tap in and just move. And then I had like a three contract, three cons in this case, not two. And I was one tick from stopping out. And I was like, in my experience, there's no way we're gonna tap this and this end up being the low of the move. And this never happens, guys. You can go and look at the data. This has only happened like once or twice. So then basically after that, I closed my position at break even, and you can see that position has ended up running for goddamn 10R. But after we closed above these highs again, we quote unquote swept these highs again. I was so confident we're gonna go higher. And mind you, yeah, we're basically down 4R at this point because we closed at break even. And then I was like, you know what? I think we can get maybe like 2.5R, 2R, maybe just to make back half our losses. And that's exactly what we did. Basically, it was super simple. After we closed above these swing highs right here, I literally just put a retest of this area of demand right here like this. Like it was literally that simple. I got in right here. Literally got on this candle confirmation. Actually, I want a little bit more confirmation because we had also this low right here that I didn't like, and also there was bro. If I show you the order flow, bro, there was somebody selling 1,000 contracts right here. Whoever sold 1,000 contracts here got absolutely fucked, bro. I've never seen that on the order flow in my life on the footprint, right? So it was crazy. But yeah, I got in there. Stop loss was like this, two cons. I could have made it tighter for sure, but I didn't want to like, I didn't want to just have it too tight like before. And I was, you know what, I'm just gonna go for a 2.5R, and that's exactly what happened. For a 2.5R, made back basically half the losses and a little bit more, and obviously this ended up running even more. Like this is, actually we made it back. We would have made back all our losses if I kept holding, but I just didn't want to go for 2.5R because again, this was a discretionary trade and there's no reason to be greedy or anything. We made back half our losses, whatever it is what it is. Now, going into tomorrow, now what I do want to show you guys is that if you look at the higher time frame, we are bullish now. I don't want to be looking for shorts anymore because again, we've been fundamentally really chugging. We're not going to go below 4,000 in my opinion. This is a floor, so we're not going to trend past this level, right? And obviously, because as gold as a higher time frame yielding asset, it's never going to go down in the next decade, right? In terms of, it's always going to keep going higher and getting value as time goes on. That's just how gold works. But in terms of the a key algorithmic fundamental level, 4,000 is solidified now. We're not going to go below that. So you can see, right, we didn't really retest it or go below it. Well, we came right below it, like or a little bit before it, and then we end up going higher. So I'm still bullish, as well as even though Fed monetary policy, we're holding rates. The Israel-Iran tensions are priced in, I'm pretty sure, so we could have some type of correction. And if anything, man, we'd have to see, I'd say like a deeper technical retrace for us to go lower. But based off this, we're bullish now, right? We close above all the structure externally. There's really no other areas of selling. We have these highs over here, and we're closing pretty bullishly on the day. So I do want to look for areas for going long now on gold. This is also kind of in line with my system as well, right? But yeah, essentially, if we go over here, you can see I marked out some fuck, bro, I shouldn't even said some LVN, some low volume nodes that I do want to see us react off from. That's the sauce, right? And see price trade into the retest to go higher, and that's really all it is. So you can see we have essentially one over here, and then this one over here with this low. And it's really all the two levels that we have for longs. Either we go here or here, and then we go higher for at least whatever 6R maybe. Who knows? But tomorrow, what is today? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I do think we're gonna be fully bullish. So we can end potentially somewhere. Honestly, man, we could end back at around like 5,000, somewhere around 5,000. But we could also just pump up, right? Like you guys know how Asian Open is. We just fucking pump up like crazy sometimes, So that could easily happen. I don't know. Right, either we end somewhere like right here, we end here, I don't know, but logically the low volume node from here and here are going to be areas where you want to look for going long potentially, and then just swinging that or just holding that for a good intraday trade for like 8 9 10R, and that should put us up good on the week. But yeah, unfortunately, that's really kind of what it was. Nothing crazy. As you guys have probably seen, I have been giving him bottom and top tick levels on gold as well and Nasdaq that are kind of crazy actually. That I can't show it in this video because it's actual sauce, but you would have bottom ticked gold on Sunday for like damn near like what you would have for 1,700 points, which is kind of crazy. There's a couple other levels like here as well as on Nasdaq, but more info on that is going to be on the Discord. So yeah, awesome. Let's see, do we have anybody in the oh, we have Josh in here. Great. I didn't even notice that he joined the joined the chat. What the hell? Oh, I went, oh, dense. Okay, cool. But yeah, we do have our VWAP here. Again, this imbalance is a bit too big, so I don't think we're just gonna like touch this imbalance and just rock it. I do really want to see us hit this low volume node specifically, and yeah, that's really it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what price wants to do. Again, if we, who knows? I don't think we're gonna do this. Very unlikely. But if we just invalidate all of this, I highly doubt that because this imbalance was also pretty inefficient as well. Excuse me. But yeah, this VWAP tap was fucking crazy. You will almost never see this, which is why I was so cooked on not taking this trade. I was like, you know what? Maybe we make another low at least. Maybe we react off this level of demand and then go higher, which is why I closed the position at break even because it's like I just didn't think like it's gonna hit to the tick and then end up just rallying, But if it's destined to be, it's destined to be, right? And yeah, that's really much it. And also, I have another indicator you guys know. I can't show it to you guys because it's proprietary. But it hasn't really, it's kind of gone to the bearish point. So and essentially what that means is that we could be expecting bearishness, but on the first tap of it, it's not like it rolls along it essentially. So I know this is probably not making sense, but we can still be bullish. I'm thinking for the next day or two. All right, and then buy either at Asian Open or buy out at one of these levels and make decent money going into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So yeah, pretty much it, guys. Nothing too crazy, but if you have any questions, just drop them below. And yeah, I'm gonna go upload this for you guys. And yeah, all right, take care. Let's see here.